Today's journal discussion will be on an article with the title Development and Characterization of 3D Printed Electroconductive Polymer HEMA-MAA Laden Hydrogels for Tissue Engineering. So we will see the details of this study. This study was published in the journal Biodesign and Manufacturing in the year 2024 with an impact factor of 7.6. So the impact factor of 7.6, this was published. The novelty of the study is, unlike conventional hydrogels that are electrically inert, this system provides a bioelectrically active microenvironment which is crucial for excitable tissues. Excitable tissues in human body, we know it is the nerves, the muscles and the heart. So for these excitable tissues, they are trying to synthesize a hydrogel which can conduct electricity. Additionally, the dual functionality of conductivity and antimicrobial activity further strengthens this translational relevance. So here they are trying to synthesize a hydrogel which can conduct electricity as well as having an antimicrobial property. So the aim was to develop and characterize a nanoparticle-laden electroconductive hydrogel suitable for 3D printing and tissue engineering applications, and to evaluate its physicochemical, mechanical, electrical and biological properties. So the materials used, hydroxyethyl metacrylate, this is a monomer, metacrylic acid is a monomer, Miracure is a photoinitiator, and for nanoparticle fabrication they use the ethylene dioxythiophene, which is PDOT, and pyrrole. These are the nanoparticle for nanoparticle synthesizing, and they use the PDA DMAC, which is polydiallyl dimethyl ammonium chloride. So this solution and iron toluene sulfonate hexahydrate, these were used for the synthesis of this material. So here they use the solution which is PDA DMAC along with the particles which were used for nanoparticle synthesis, either PDOT or the pyrrole groups. They were used, and the solution was ultrasonicated over an ice bath to create a mini emulsion, and later they added the iron toluene hexahydrate dropwise, and then added hydroxyalkanate and left for overnight at 48 degrees C to synthesize that polymer with the monomers HEMA and MEA. So they synthesized the polymer HEMA copolymer metacrylate hydrogel via copolymerization. This is the process of copolymerization where they attach all the monomers together and form a polymer. So they incorporated the PDOT and the pyrrole nanoparticles to impart the conductivity. So these two were added to impart the electrical conductivity of that particular hydrogel. The fabrication using extrusion-based 3D printing. As we know, 3D printing, there are different types of printing. In that, they have used extrusion-based 3D printing, where the polymer samples were in situ photopolymerized, converting the 3D printed layers of monomer solutions laden with nanoparticles to hydrogels using this 3D printer. This is the 3D printer which uses it is photocurable. So they have made that covering as a not a transparent one, but to prevent the curing. This is how the 3D printing is made. This is the stereolithography laser, digital light processing, liquid crystal display. They have used this liquid crystal display in this study, where the laser beam will hit the spot and then it will hit that area where it has to cure the hydrogel. In this digital light processing, the projector casts light over the entire layer to cure it all at once. But an LCD screen is either masks for the projector's light or uses its own to cure the entire layer at once. So this is the light LCD display which was used to cure the hydrogels. So how they have used, the LED will be here, the material, scaffold material will be here, placed here, which will be uncured, and then the light will be given, then it will be cured. So it will form a layer. Again they will add another layer, like that we cure the 3D print and then cure with the use of LCD. And the characterization technique was, they did a rheological assay for the printability, because it has to be flowable for the printable. Mechanical testing was done with compressor strength, and electrical conductivity measurements were taken. Degradation study was also conducted. We need that scaffold to degrade over time for it to form the tissue or the organ. And the biological activity was evaluated through astrocyte cell viability. So here they use the nerve cells and they used the proliferation assay to measure the biological evaluation. So where the disc of that particular hydrogel, which was suspended in the cell culture media, and this media was used to grow the astrocytes, and then they did the live dead assay using the darkly fluorescent stain, and they visualized the fluorescent astrocytes using confocal microscopy. Also, they did an antimicrobial testing for Staphylococcus epidermis. So here they found that successful 3D printing with good shape due to the shear thinning behavior, which means while pressing it will flow easily. So that shear thinning behavior was there, it was successful, and electrical conductivity increased with the nanoparticle concentration. So with the Siemens, S per centimeter is Siemens, which is the unit of conductance. And the mechanical strength ranged between 450 to 550 kPa, but decreased with higher nanoparticle loading. Faster degradation rates was observed, and high cytocompatibility with enhanced astrocyte viability and proliferation. Antimicrobial activity was also there against the epidermis, staphylococcus. So the conclusion was the electroconductive polymer HEMA-MAA copolymer hydrogels incorporated with the P dot and PPY nanoparticles can be successfully 3D printed and exhibit favorable electrical, biological and antimicrobial properties, making them promising candidates for tissue engineering applications, particularly for electroactive tissues. Limitations included low electrical conductivity compared to native tissues and reduced mechanical strength due to interference and cross-linking by nanoparticles, lack of long-term in vivo validations, and limited evaluation of immune response and chronic degradation behavior, potential aggregation of nanoparticles affecting the uniform. Future scope is to enhance the conductivity using hybrid nanomaterials like graphenes, carbon dots, and improving mechanical properties via reinforcement strategies, and conducting in vivo studies, incorporating biological molecules such as growth factors and extracellular vesicles, and exploring the application in neural, cardiac, and dental pulp tissue. The strengths include integration of multiple functionalities like conductivity, printability, antimicrobial effect, use of clinically relevant fabrication method which is 3D printing, then comprehensive multi-level characterization, both physical, mechanical, and biological, and demonstrated excellent cytocompatibility with neural cells. So this study aligns with the experimental biomaterials research. So where standardized universal guidelines are less rigid but still emphasize the reproducibility, characterization, and biological validation. Here the tissue engineering and regenerative medicine reporting principles were practically followed. Scaffold fabrication method, physicochemical characterization, mechanical testing, biological validation, and functional property was also done properly.